So I'd like to welcome to my presentation. And I am from Nepal, so I did my MA in anthropology from Nepal. So we are in a very challenging times from various perspectives. And when we talk about digital invasion, so it has impacting cultures in many different ways. So the title of my presentation is Changing Cultural Landscape and Anthropological Research in the Digital Era. So this is the context from Western Nepal. So this is the Gandaki province that lies in the western part of Nepal, where my study was based. So talking about the cultural landscape, it basically reflects the society's culture. And Western Nepal, to make you familiarize with Western Nepal, it is inhabited by diverse ethnic groups, indigenous people, who have their own languages and distinct traditions, costumes, which makes it culturally very rich. But with the digital invasion, it is impacting the communities in many different ways. It's breaching the cultural boundary. And likewise, the changes that has occurred in the cultural space is also shaping the anthropological research. The way the anthropological research traditionally used to be conducted, it's being, seeing different changes within it. So in this study, my collaborators were other researchers, especially anthropologists working in Western Nepal, and students. Before coming to Canada, I was a faculty member in Gandaki University, so I discussed with my students and the locals of Western Nepal. So these pictures reflects the different cultures from my country. So they are celebrating different festivals, as you can see. So talking about the statement of problems, there is decline in cultural values, weak ties in kin relationship, ancestors with the land, as people are living in different areas nowadays, and they compromise physical presence with online attendance, which has cost a lot in terms of it halted the process of cultural transmission as well. And there's a big problem regarding misinterpreting and misrepresentation of the culture, as many content creators, people are making videos, constantly producing different culture as a commodity and sharing it online. So it is a very ethical concern that it has been raised within the community. So likewise, in obtaining consent from the subjects has also become a very much challenge in anthropological research as well. And it is impacting the cultural tolerance and harmony of the communities. And it has resulted the blurred distinction between what is culturally accepted and what is not. As people are exposed to different cultures, they are learning it, acquiring it, and they are making it in their own ways. However, some activities that is not culturally accepted is now being, people are accepting it, but there is a big question. Some people are not accepting it, and some people are quite open about it. And digital media is forcing consumers with feeds without considering their cultural background. As we all know that there are different kind of things when you scroll that's coming, which is not our choices. So people with AI is just constantly feeding people without knowing their cultural background. And challenges for in-depth understanding and holistic research. So while conducting anthropology is a big challenge, because this has been the hallmark of anthropology. So we rely on in-depth understanding, deep understandings. For that, we need to do extended research. So when we try to limit it more virtually, then the opportunity to learn the cultural nuances gets limited. Like, these are my research questions. I am basically trying to figure out how digital technologies are shaping and impacting the cultural landscape. When you talk about the changing landscape, there has been more access than before, and people are constantly consuming digital commodities. And we can see despite the cultural differences, the common thing is the digital addiction we see in the youngsters. They are addicted to video games, social media, and this kind of stuff. Massive digital production and dissemination of local cultures. So local cultures are getting opportunity to be produced and reproduced through social media and through YouTube, through TikTok. which is a good thing for cultural flourishment. But there are threats to cultural values as well. And this is, the digital world, as people are more exposed to all over all kind of items, it is shaping the cultural world. So there is a kind of cultural admixture going on, resulting from different global cultures. Likewise, there is a special celebration called Tees, which is especially celebrated by women, and there can be we can see the influence of samba dance somehow. So, likewise, digital technology has become an integral part of culture. So when we are studying culture, we cannot separate digital technology, and there is a gap in appropriating digital technology within the cultural context. So it is a very important aspect when we study a particular culture. We have to consider how that culture views digital technology, the utility of it, the importance of it can vary. The utility of particular application gadget can vary from one culture to another. So, and these situations is also resulting in social conflict and kind of symbolic violence. And we can see the change in media culture, as traditionally people were more using other forms of like reading newspapers and watching televisions, but nowadays more they are doing it on smartphones and social media, even in the remote areas. Increased use of digital technology in anthropological research, like it has become very common to use video approaches, camera, and to make analysis of photographs while generating data. It has become more research, and it has opened more research area focusing on the digital use and digital transformation. So the general objective is to study the changing cultural landscape, how digital technologies have influenced the sociocultural life of people, different cultural aspects, and anthropological research. So this is the conceptual framework. I have applied actor network theory, cultural diffusion, and interpretive approach to analyze the data. So actor network theory allowed me to see like different digital objects is also actors, and how these all together, human and non-human aspects, are influencing and shaping culture. Interpretive approach allowed me to see it deeply, the social interaction and how they are making meaning out of it. And cultural diffusion, of course, helped me to solve the cultural amalgamation due to the people's exposure and how they are consuming different items. So methodology followed like interview, and based on my personal experiences from previous researches and observation. Likewise, gurography. Gurography refers to, gura means in Nepali, it refers to talks and like gossiping, and graphy is a method. So gurography altogether is a very important aspect of ethnographic research. So it refers to deep hanging out, or like we can also say like informal casual talks which has deeper insights. So the research design was exploratory and descriptive. So talking about data analysis, it followed a cyclical pattern of data collection, analysis, interpretation, and I discussed with other researchers and to take interviews of other people involving my students and locals. So, and finally I analyzed all the data collected. And so talking about the results, there have been changes in the cultural values, norms, and beliefs. However, there is a blurred distinction of right and wrong among cultures, and commuting a taboo has become very easy. Like what is culturally accepted or not. Before, some things that were seen as inappropriate